Well, joining us live for more on this is Sidhant Sibal from Denver in the USA. Sidhant Sibal, good to see you and good evening, I believe, to you. The big bilateral Quad summit took place at the White House, and as expected, the issues discussed were more on strengthening ties and security in the Indo-Pacific. No mention of AUKUS in the meeting, but what are some of the major takeaways from the summit?
Well, it has been a long day in Washington, whether it's the bilateral, whether it's the Quad meeting, the first in-person Quad meeting. Quad is a reality. It's a new geopolitics, start of a new geopolitics from Washington. A lot of issues were discussed, emphasis on the crisis when it comes to Afghanistan, COVID vaccine, as you pointed out, the vaccines will be manufactured in India. But new initiatives as well. Infrastructure initiative is one key initiative which was talked about. Other than that, the focus was on how these countries can work together in terms of information technology, artificial intelligence. These are the other key focus areas, and essentially forming a new diplomacy, essentially focusing on a diplomatic initiative. Of course, that is Quad, and we will see more such Quad meetings. That was told by the Foreign Secretary Harsh Shringla after the Quad meeting came to a close. The meeting lasted for approximately 2 hours, and during that 2-hour meeting we saw the opening statement as well. The Indian Prime Minister talking about it's a force for good. The US President talking about the fellowship under which the Quad countries will provide fellowship to students in various other countries like the Quad member countries. Basically, these are the initiatives which have been talked about. Climate change is other initiative. There is, of course, no military dimension to Quad. That was dismissed by the Foreign Secretary in the press conference, but he talked about how the entire Quad-led initiative will focus on convergences of these 4 countries, and Quad has become a reality. Of course, China will not be happy about. We do expect a Chinese reactions perhaps next week when the Chinese Foreign Ministry opens for the press conferences and, of course, daily briefings. But China, of course, has been very wary of Quad, calling it names, calling it Asian NATO, something that has been dismissed by the Quad member countries. But largely, if we look at Quad's basic functioning, it is to make sure that like-minded countries work for a free and open Indo-Pacific. That clearly means collaborating their resources for the wider good of course, the humanity, as the Indian Prime Minister pointed out.
You have mentioned it right there about China. The Quad is seen by critics as being anti-China. Was China brought up in the meeting?
Well, in the press conference by the Foreign Secretary, there was, of course, no mention. There will not be any direct mention. That is what diplomacy is all about. Without taking names, things are said. And the fact that there were repeated mentions on free and open Indo-Pacific by various leaders, the 4 leaders present at the Quad meeting during their initial statement, shows that essentially the focus is to make sure that any country which tries to break the rules-based order, especially in Indo-Pacific, that is a key area where trade passes, the world's approximately 65 to 70 or 80% trade passes through that region, is protected. And that is why there were questions, of course, about AUKUS. We know that there was a bilateral between the Indian Prime Minister and the Australian Prime Minister, during which the Australian Prime Minister gave the rationale of the AUKUS Security Pact, saying that this is a pact that will increase Australian capabilities at a time when China has been involved in a militarization program, one of the largest militarization program any country has been involved in recent history.
All right, finally, focus now shifts to the UNGA, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to give his speech. What should we expect from that?
Well, it will be another long day in New York, where we are heading do. WION has the largest team on the ground in New York as well. The focus, of course, will be on United Nations Security Council reforms, climate change, COVID crisis. These are the issues the Indian Prime Minister is expected to talk about. This is his fourth address at the United Nations General Assembly, and just last year, 2020. That time, virtually, he talked about the issues across the world, and specific focus, a substantial portion of his speech was focused on the reforms at the United Nations Security Council, talking about why India need to be at the high table. But we know that since 2014, when Prime Minister has been addressing the UNGA's green podium, from the green podium, he has been furthering India's soft power, and in his first address after 2014, he gave the proposal of Yoga Day, which is celebrated every year as International Yoga Day, with greater magnitude with each passing day.
Right, live from Denver, USA. Thank you very much, Siddhant Sibal, for that.